It's Friday. It's Mark Pyers.
I was walking down the
And
road today,
it's Renaissance Man.
for another way.
I'm here
Ease my mind and help
to
my
ease my mind and help my living. It's Renaissance Man. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers, Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 1,390 in a row of the Renaissance Man show. And as you know, we have a new concept, a new format to the show here. It's called At The Brink. At The Brink is a 10-minute exploration within the soul. See what happens, see what comes out. Today we're talking about... Why does it say facing the person in the mirror? That's not right. What is going on with that? Hold on, let me fix this. I went in there in the back end. I thought I changed everything right. And of course, it changed my title. No, that's not supposed to be the title there. Thanks for coming out. Restream. Let's see if it changes on its own. I don't know if it will. Let's do it. Let's do a little refresh here. Guys, trusting your intuition. You think you did it right. I trusted it, and it didn't work. Let's see if it worked on its own. I don't think it's going to. It worked on its own. Guys, when you're doing it. So we're here again 2 days in a row. We're just going to quickly breeze past the fact that YouTube took another 100 subscribers away from me. So we were up at like 10,825. Now we're at 10,490 something. So they're pulling away subs. I don't know if it's going to continue. I really just shouldn't even care. Who the freak cares? We're here to do 10 minutes. We're here to try to bring you up a level. And hopefully the people that really care about this show will seek this show. You're going to have to seek this show. So let's quickly go over this. Seeking and trusting your intuition. I think in general, most of us are so, I guess, conditioned to follow the rules, conditioned to follow what our elders told us, what we learned from our teachers, that we stop listening to our intuition. And the intuition is our greatest asset. It's not something that you just have intuition because you have intuition. This is DNA. This is millions. I think we haven't been around for 10,000. I mean, we've been around for a very long time. And for the generation to generation to generation, intuition has been the way we stayed alive. It started with simply having a feeling something's watching you. You know, when you're in the woods, in the cave, trying to make sure you get through the night without getting eaten by a bear. And our ancestors' ancestors were the first to really dial in on their intuition. And that's why we're still here. We wouldn't be here today if our great ancestors didn't have intuition and follow it. Matt Zabrowski. I think we can use a woo-hoo right about now. I'm going to throw it to you. Friday night style. Woo-hoo! Right? That was a good one. Guys, when you're doing it and you're trusting your intuition, you know, what's that? Joanne, I know. We know you trust your intuition every day. Wheezing it out, you know. In life, it's hard because you have to do what they tell you, or else it gets very difficult out there. But if you don't have a healthy diet of intuition within your life, you're going to start to be confused by everything. So I think it comes down to little things, following your heart and making sure you say the things you want to say. Intuition's not necessarily just on knowing something's coming, but it's also on intending something and seeking it. And I feel like once you have your eye on something, then your intuition gets stronger for that. It starts to seek out new ways for you to reach your goals and reach your potential. So dial in on it. Don't be afraid of the fact that you feel certain things. They tell you certain things about others. I used to think this weird. I used to jokingly say to people that within 5 minutes of meeting them, I knew everything about them. I didn't really, but I could feel a lot about people when I meet them. I could feel what kind of person they are. I could look in their eyes and get a sense of how they treat people. It's weird, but when I was younger, I used to thrive on that. And being a 5-minute judge of character is not necessarily the best thing in the world, because you're thinking that you know something when that person may have just woke up on the right side of the bed or wrong side of the bed that day. So you can't be a 5-minute judge of character. You have to allow people to show the uniqueness and the breadth of who they really are. Nobody is one-sided. We're so complex. We have so many different features, so many different downfalls, so many different amazing details to look at and to discuss. But to pretend that you can make a judgment on someone based on one thing they said, one thing they did, one thing they believe is very weird to me. You have a world trying to cancel people for saying one thing that they're against. It's like, but wait a second, what about the other things that person thinks or feels? You don't care about that. You just want to cancel them from the planet because they said one thing against what you believe. And that to me is where we really have our biggest problem in 2022. People should be able to speak their minds. And if you offend somebody, get the frig up and walk out of the room. Scroll, change the channel. But the idea that we live in a world where people can then get you canceled because they believe that your words are dangerous for others, that's a dangerous place to be. And we have been there for a few years now. TikTok's a great example. I've been banned for 10 days right now. Why? For a piece of content from July that they already scrubbed once. They pulled it once. They reviewed it, reinstated it, and now 4 months later, some Karen went on there and was like, something about Hillary Clinton. And they complained, and they got me banned. And it's like the fact that you could allow them to do that, TikTok, it makes me hate your app. The fact that somebody with why? Jill, some lady in the corner over there is going to be able to have the power to pull a creator down when she's got no talent? It baffles me, the trolls and the people out there that want to rip others down when they offer nothing at all on the social, spectrum. Nothing. They just want to pull people down, but not offer anything in return. If you don't like what someone's doing, create your own content, Jill. Going around and being this freaking arbiter of truth. Oh, you know the truth. Do you? What truth are you listening to? We're all listening to opinion in 2022. So anybody tells you, oh, this is the truth. I happen to feel like I speak a lot of truth because I don't watch the news. I live in the moment and I say whatever the frig is coming through my mind and in my heart, and whatever my intuition is telling me to say, it's coming out. So that's just how I am. But if you're watching the mainstream, if you're watching anything that has a couple letters, 3-4 letters, CNN, MSN, these channels, they thrive on pushing fear and just creating chaos, confusion, and division above all. So remember that your intuition should tell you one thing above all. Shut the friggin' TV off. Shut off the negatube. It's doing nothing for you. You need to step away from it all, and you need to get back to human contact. Even most importantly, people that you don't agree with. We need to be able to get in a room with people we don't agree with and have a civil conversation. I don't agree with you, but thanks for having a conversation with me about that. That's what you think about your guy. That's how I feel about my guy. That's great. Your girl, your guy, whatever. I'm glad we had this conversation. And I don't know who's right, but we both spoke. We had a chance to say everything we wanted to about this. I had a great conversation 3-4 months ago. It's crazy. I'm at Lowe's of all places. And I walk in, and for some reason, this guy's sitting in his car. We had this conversation that kicked off. And for some reason, I felt like he was on my team. So I said something to him like, don't you think that this is going on? And all of a sudden, he blasted back, and he went after, the party. I was like, whoa, this guy's not on my team at all. We spent the next 15 minutes yelling back at each other, back and forth. Things like, maybe if this, and he's like, maybe if you're, and for 15 minutes we screamed back and forth through the window at each other. And he goes, at the end, I said, look, I got to get going. I got an appointment, But I just want to let you know how much I appreciate the fact that you allowed me to say what I wanted to say. We had a nice conversation. I wish you well. You have an awesome... This guy had the best smile. I was like, you got an awesome smile. Thank you so much for keeping this civil. I mean, look, we were yelling at each other, but we ended on a positive note. Hey, thanks for having that chat, for that debate, You didn't cancel me. You didn't say, screw that guy because he thinks differently than me. You had I would say, a very spirited argument in the middle of a Lowe's parking lot. But we walked away with a smile each. And I said, I hope you have a great weekend. And the guy was like, yeah, you too. And it was like such a cool thing. Two people, completely opposite sides of the fence, came together in the moment at a freaking Lowe's parking lot. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need to get back to. Civil conversation. Remember the most important side note. You can get along with every single person on this planet if you don't talk about religion, politics, money, or now 2022, gender. Don't talk about those things. Don't talk about race. Leave it all out. All that stuff would die if people stopped talking about it. We're so advanced in 2022. We've seen it all. We have access to everything on the internet. We don't need people out there calling everybody racist, telling everybody that they're evil because of the color of their skin. This is the problem. This is bringing us backwards. Nobody wants to say that. We're bringing us backwards. Stop talking about it and it disappears. You're always going to have a couple bad eggs out there. But for the most part, got a lot of really good eggs out there, and you're not acknowledging any of it. You're talking about the few bad eggs and making it seem like it's everybody. And that's mainstream, fake news, National Enquirer media I'm speaking to right now. If you're part of it, you are part of the problem. You are the problem, not part of it. You're completely the problem. And shows that are trying to breathe some essence of truth that can't be seen or heard because your message is so freaking clear and so truthful. Anybody who's suppressing everything else, you know right off the bat that everything they're telling you is a friggin' lie. If you won't let anybody else have an opinion, and it's only your opinion, everybody else is a conspiracy theorist and an anti-veer. What the This is the thing that I find very interesting. We get to a point where people they create these little terms. And they label everybody that term, and you become that term. We did it with Karen, right? People are being Karens. Everybody's a Karen. We label people these little terms. Oh, well, if you have gotten every single bugaboo in your entire life, but all of a sudden you didn't get the one that they made in 9 months that doesn't friggin' work, kills, possibly, hurt people, definitely hurts people, and you're not going to get that? You're not going to get that one? You're an anti-veer. No, I'm an anti-you not following the sciencer. I'm an anti-psyoper. Yeah, that is what I'm an anti-er. I'm not for doing something that doesn't freaking have any positive result. There's not one positive result to the thing that they made. Oh, well, your symptoms are less. Are they stupid? Two of our friends, one of them is bugabooed, the other one's not. And the one that was bugabooed had much worse symptoms than the one that wasn't. So you tell me how that works then. Oh, well, everybody else. Okay, you want to buy that line too? Guys, just do me a favor. Follow your intuition. It is telling you something. And for 2 years, if you were listening to them, you were not following your intuition. So get back to it. It's not too late. But most importantly, when you hear someone saying something, listen to yourself for a second and just see if there's that little meter going off, BS. Or if you're like, you know what, that seems right. There's something there that I actually can connect with. You can tell right away. You have the instinct. You have the intuition. Don't be deaf to the screams that are being beckoned right at you, bellowing at you. What's that noise? Nothing. It's just Joanne wheezing. No. It's your intuition calling. Are you listening? So famine, friends. Tomorrow we do it all over again. Day 1391 in a row. At the Brink. Just a little 10-minute journey. See what the frig comes out, What's that? Joanne, I know, 10 minutes of you wheezing. We know. She goes, I did 10 minutes of wheeze. I know. We heard it. Joanne. Pamela's yelling at you from the chat again. I get it, Pamela. I get it. So, fam and friends, do me a favor, keep spreading the word because they're taking away our subs. I don't know what to do. All I'll tell you is that I'm going to keep with this format. I'm going to keep showing up with you every day for 10. And if you could do me a favor and tell some friends, let people know we're here. And it's just for a few minutes every day. I think everybody has time for that. The other thing, remember, Keith has been doing this. Thank you so much, brother. Please watch these shows all the way through. Like, comment, share. They're taking away my subs, so help them out. Unsubscribe, then resubscribe. Unsubscribe, then resubscribe. Do it every day. Apparently that helps. Right now we're just getting tons of freaking unsubscribes. So maybe a couple of our family members going resubscribing may help us get a little boost. I don't know how it works, guys, but you are the biggest part of whether this show is successful or not. That's what I found out. It's all on how much you guys interact. And the more you interact, the more they'll bring other people in, and if they interact, they'll share it with others, and before you know it, At The Brink actually goes somewhere. So if you do want to see At The Brink go somewhere, if you want to see this show become something more than it is, keep doing what you're doing. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep commenting, and keep watching. And remember, there's over 2,800 pieces of content on the platform. If you're ever like, I don't know what to watch today, just go like this and pick something. You're going to have a good time. So until tomorrow, fam and friends, back ass in the house. Good to see you. Christine Seidman, I'm loving it. Keith Henry, thank you so much for keeping the leech tradition alive. You know, we have a leechy situation going on. Pamela Swan, as always, I'm sorry for Joanne's wheeze. There's only so much you can do when you got a wheezer back there, you know. A scoop. Yes, when you got a scoop doing it. Scooping it up. Stacy Michaels, you are amazing. Tim Beers, my brother. I got your message the other day. I'm so glad the message that whatever came out that day hit home. Keep showing up, my brother. We love you. And we of liberty and freedom, you guys, we have liberty and freedom, right? Doing it when you're a wolf. So people, keep on doing you, keep smiling, and tomorrow I'll see you again. Until then, it's Mark Pyers. And it's Renaissance Man. At The Brink. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. You got to go away. You got to go away.